Hi friends, welcome to PWIP. I today wanted to actually give a quick roundup of rice exports.
Banning export of non-basmati rice.
The export of rice.
India is the world's biggest exporter of rice.
The global outlook और क्या हो रहा है actually पूरे दुनिया में. So this video could actually be divided into many small parts and let's address each part, what it means to each exporter who is into rice in India, abroad, importers who have been importing from different countries, right? So in India, we know all the data, right? 90,000 crore worth of rice was getting exported as of last year. Now, in this, there are some big exporters, there are medium, and then there are small exporters. Because I was an exporter myself since 2015, मैं महीने में एक या दो कंटेनर करके बहुत खुश रहता था. And what was those one or two containers? Either it is say सोना मसूरी. So small exporters जो होते हैं वो एक दो कंटेनर करके ही महीने का खुश रहते हैं. I mean why? Because assume if you're doing 2 containers of basmati and say if you're somehow earning about 20,000 rupees a container and you make 40,000 rupees in a month out of it, you're fine with it. So the problem here is the small exporters who were doing Sona Masuri rice, Idli rice, Dosa rice, Matta rice, these kind of varieties suddenly got into a problem because of the rice export ban of white rice and these varieties, right? Parboiled जो करते थे, I mean they are still okay, but the duty has come. I think somehow the global markets have accepted this, right? They have adjusted to this now. So the people who were doing basmati, there was 1200, MEP which is 950. I think basmati exporters are also to an extent are okay, they are just sailing through. So the small exporters who were doing these non-basmati varieties is where they all face challenges. Now, we know that in this, from an Indian context, buyers who have been importing Sona Masuri rice, say Gobind Bhog rice, say RNR HMT rice, all these varieties are not right now being able to export, which means these exporters are suffering and those importers are also suffering because they can't buy these varieties from any other country. It is very specific to India, right? But white rice and parboiled rice is one such rice you can not only buy from India, you can also buy it from Myanmar, Vietnam, Philippines, Laos, Cambodia, little from China, Brazil as well. Now, on the other hand, basmati is one such variety where buyers, if not from India, they can switch to Pakistan. The quantum of availability, price points still is a concern, but India still is anyway being able to export basmati rice. So let me come to then 2 rice varieties only, which is, or probably 3, which is brokens, white rice and parboiled rice. So in the global, when I and our team at PWIP, the way we are looking at it right now, the countries which buy and want these white rice or parboiled rice are now very actively purchasing from these countries that I mentioned, which is Myanmar, Vietnam, Philippines, Cambodia, and including Pakistan. White rice at that time used to be about say $440 per ton FOB, right? Today, parboiled rice is anywhere between 500 to 5 ton FOB as on today, 8th November 2023. So this prices is being compared with other varieties from these countries, right? In Myanmar, there is a rice called Imata, which is a long grain white rice. There is a rice called Thuka, which is a short grain white rice in Myanmar, right? So, and the prices of it is around 500 odd dollars. So, if you see, buyers have equal opportunity right now. Earlier, India always had an advantage because India's price was better. Other countries were still at a very high margin of at least $80 to $100 per ton. Right now, India is not having that advantage because other countries also are offering similar prices. Secondly, we are right now in November. So November, December and Jan, now this is a month for harvest. Though we have all news that the output of paddy is not as expected and is not as same as last year, there is a shortfall in output. But even considering that, we are right now looking at an inward of harvesting that is going to come, which means there is a feel in the market, the pulse in the market outside is that in the next 1 month, the prices are going to significantly drop. Now, white rice, I think today is roughly about 29 to 30 rupees a kg, or as on 8th November 2023, it might drop to about 27, 28. We at PWIP have been, apart from the platform business, as a rice as a whole, we have been at least recording day-to-day prices from the last 3 years. And our research says that IR64 white rice has always been in the range of 24 to 25 rupees a kg in the past, which is now about 28, 29 rupees. The short grain Swarna rice used to be anywhere between 20 to 22 rupees, which is now about 25, 26 to 27 rupees right now. That is why government cut down on these exports, right? The prices have shot up. Sona Masuri steam rice in places like Raichur, Siruguppa, in these ये जो location है, वहाँ पे हमने कभी भी 30 रुपीज़ या 32 रुपीज़ मैक्स उसके ऊपर हमने कभी नहीं लिया है. लेकिन आज के दिन सोना मसूरी स्टीम एक्समिल itself is about 45 rupees, जो 30 rupees हुआ करता था. So right, so that 15 rupees is like ज़मीन आसमान का फर्क है in pricing, and it is a very, very huge surge in pricing. Similarly, kolam used to be anywhere 45 rupees, today is about 55 to 57 rupees, 10, 12, even in rice, even 50 paise to 1 rupee upward, you are seen as a very high price fluctuation. And all of our contracts used to get jeopardized because of these fluctuations. So where if you see the market, and yesterday the World Outlook report said that India could probably never remove the curb on exports, rice exports, at least until 2025. And I think that is very much possible and true, because अभी ये जो season जो निकल जाएगा, इसके बाद we will have a summer crop later, which is in May, April and May. What I think all these organizations are trying to hint is that I think it might still take at least 2 to 3 cycles of harvest. So somewhere come and see, okay, how the world is adjusting to the demand of rice. The population is not going to stop. The El Nino effect in Southeast Asia was one factor for lower productivity, right? So all these things, I think 2-3 cycles. So if it is this cycle of 2023, then the next cycle is 24 and the next cycle is 25. So at least 2 more cycles of harvest is what I think we need to see. A lot of exporters are trying to find their ground by seeing whether they can get into any other product. Wheat was the first product which was banned from India, followed by rice, right? A lot of people are trying to ship maize and soya and other commodities. A lot of countries have dependency on India, a very strong dependency on India. West African countries, UAE, Singapore, right, which made deals with the Indian government and through NCEL is exporting rice to these countries. So the government is definitely going to help the countries where the food security is the issue. We also know in India that a lot of state governments need rice. One is few state governments has promised free ration and free rice to their people. Some states have always had some or the other programs in which they offer rice to the people of their state. There are some schemes of the government which is like midday meals, a lot of other initiatives like the government ration scheme of the government, for which the government will need rice. There is FCI, they have a PDS scheme, and there is NAFED and NCCF, a lot of government bodies which work very closely with the government to fulfill government objectives, right? So what I'm trying to say is there's a demand within the country and there's a global demand. So if you are looking at a global perspective, what you could also do is, what we are actually also trying to do is that apart from solving for rice from India, can we actually also help our exporters and buyers enjoy trade benefits from other countries as well, which is still a work in progress. We have our team members in Myanmar. We are trying to understand, learn the trade from there and the price points from there, the quality from there, which buyers would show interest, etc. So these are the things that we are working on. Very soon we will come with more such updates. Last 1 year has been a very tough time for all Indian rice exporters and people like us who solve for this, but somehow we have to figure out a way, and as I say, challenges come for the good, so it brings out the best in you and you innovate based on your challenges, right? So let's hope for the best. We will keep you updated again on how the global rice outlook is. Thank you.